It is being reported that West Ham number one, Lucas Fabianski, has signed a new one-year deal with West Ham and will remain a key part of West Ham's push to join the Premier League. Big guns, welcome back to the West Ham network. Hope you're well. I am Anton. So, with that potential bit of news, how are you feeling about that? Now, the number one was out of contract at the end of the season, but according to some reports, he was one of the several players who agreed to sign a contract extension approximately several weeks or even potentially months ago. But with the club in the current situation that they are, which is having a no leak system out to the mainstream media, it means that the club are announcing these things. Not at the moment when the deal has been agreed, but a little bit later, like we saw with the Antonio contract extension. And I'm not going to lie to you, it's something that I absolutely love. It just shows that he is making big changes at the club, and we're not getting as many leaks anymore. And it does make things a little bit, even more, a bit more exciting. But you can see from all the transfer links that West Ham have, it just grows arms and legs, and it's ridiculous. And from one day to another, you can have literally another list of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players linked to the club. But the rumour is, and the reports are suggesting that Fabianski was one of those players that did sign that contract and will be announced in due course really, really soon. And are you happy with it? Because I think I'm happy with it. So Fabianski, who's 36, has proved himself to be invaluable between the posts for West Ham this season and even in the last 3 seasons that he's been with the club. And he's made a huge contribution towards the club's push for the top 4 and even in Europe or just in general around the club. Moyes currently has the reserve of Alphonse Areola on loan from, of course, Paris Saint-Germain, guarding the net behind Fabianski. But currently, Fabianski, from what we understand, his current deal expires at the end of this season alongside a lot of other West Ham players. And he signed a contract extension last season, but he seems to be quite happy with the agreements that are in place. It's like yearly renewals. And I think that is something that is kind of common in modern day football with players at the stage of their career that Fabianski finds himself in. So, as things stand, the poll is yet to be dislodged from David Moyes' starting 11 in the Premier League. Of course, you've got other goalkeepers in the midst of things who can play in other competitions. He earned 57 caps for his country, as we know, and he recently, as of last year, called time on his international career, where he received a standing ovation and a guard of honour in the 5-0 win over San Marino. And the former Arsenal and Swansea goalkeeper who joined West Ham in 2018 made his 300th appearance in the Premier League in the 2-0 win over Norwich City, which lifted West Ham back into the top 4. Now, it's something I actually didn't know until I was looking into doing this story for you guys. I mean, I knew he had a lot of a big career in the Premier League. I just didn't realise he was up to his 300th appearance for the club. But news that the experienced Fabianski will be staying on for at least one more year, it is a boost for us. But what does that mean for our current crop of goalkeepers? I mean, if reports are to be believed, West Ham are keen on tying up a deal for West Brom's highly rated Sam Johnstone. Now, we all know what he is like. He's a fantastic, fantastic goalkeeper. First thing to consider is Johnstone's agent is David Sullivan's old favourite agent, Will Salthouse. So that is something that we should keep an eye on. And first thing, the other thing we need to consider is the fact that Albion keeper Sam Johnstone recently confirmed that he's desperate to get back into the Premier League. Now, West Brom are doing okay. And does that mean that he wants to try and see out his time with West Brom until the end of his contract, which is at the summer? Or will West Brom want to try and bring some money in for him? Now, it's whether or not a club now can go and put money on the table and give West Brom money, or do West Brom scupper their plans to try and get promoted by losing their top number one goalkeeper and trying to give him Premier League football come the summer? The England international says he won't let speculation regarding this future change his number one aim, which is, he says, and of course he's going to say, to win promotion with the Baggies this season. He's out of contract, like I've said, at the end of the season. It's understood to be a target for a whole host of top flight clubs once he becomes a free agent in the summer. And I said what he said about potentially coming back into the Premier League. And the current manager at West Brom, has changed the way that Johnstone plays, especially this season. And the boss wants him to kind of operate in a kind of sweeper keeper behind a high defensive line. And alongside Bournemouth's goalkeeper, he has kept more clean sheets than any other keeper in the Championship this season, which is 11. But we do know the quality that he can offer. According to sources, he earns anything between 30 to 40k a week at West Brom. And of course, he would be a cheaper option than current number 2, Alphonse Areola. Now, he seems to be a fan favorite. He's I like him. I don't really know many people that don't like him and really want to see him be given a shot. And we completed the signing of him, the 28-year-old goalkeeper, on a season-long loan from PSG during the summer transfer window. Now, it's believed that we have an £11 million purchase option on the French man as well. He's still yet to play a Premier League game for West Ham, but the PSG-owned goalkeeper has played upwards of 8 games between cup competitions, those appearances coming in the Carabao Cup, Europa League, FA Cup, etc. And he's conceded just 5 goals during those outings and has kept 5 clean sheets in the process. The agile shot stopper has looked very impressive during his 8 appearances so far this season. And as things stands, though, he still hasn't done enough to remove West Ham's number 1 keeper in the Premier League as Lucas Fabianski in David Moyes' eyes. And the 6'5" goalkeeper is desperate to be part of France's World Cup next year. And this is something that we need to take into consideration because there's loads of players out there in a World Cup year that are going to be vying for places in the squad and want to be part of it. And some of these players could potentially be the last competition. We can talk about Jesse Lingard, which I believe if you look at Russ's show, 12:30 this afternoon, you will see him talking about the Jesse Lingard situation. And according to some reports, it's saying that Areola's lack of regular action at West Ham could potentially lead him to returning to PSG and looking for another club in the summer. But I don't know. I mean, we're here just to report as much as we know for you guys. But as much as we have an option to buy him, and the situation will be, it's going to be in West Ham's hands, really, excuse the pun, about what we actually do when it comes to him. You've got Fabianski signing a 1-year contract extension. You've got a what looks like a very good number 2 currently, who potentially could be West Ham's long-term number 1. He earns upwards of over 100k a week, and we're going to have to pay £11 million. Or West Ham tempt West Brom with some money now, or we wait to the summer and try and get him on a free, and we kind of ride that luck with the Areola situation, and we consider, getting Sam Johnstone under a belt, which would be a cheaper weekly fee and a no transfer fee as well, because he would be free. It does make interesting reading, though, as a West Ham fan, because we've now got the options, as you can see, Fab, Areola, and Sam. Who do you want? Let me jump into the chat and see what everyone's saying as well. Good morning, peoples from Happy Amaret. So Moisey at the Manure game yesterday. Interesting, absolutely. I love don't worry, your typo's okay. Hi everyone, hope you're well. Hi Happy, how are you? So disappointed how Leicester threw that away last night. Can't believe it. I literally can't believe it. I think it was like the 94th minute and 50 seconds or something. They were still getting beat 2-1, and they've obviously turned that around to win it 3-2. Morning, yeah, could have done with United and Spuds dropping points last night. Big one on Saturday now, absolutely, and I'll be there, which I'm buzzing about. Bonnie, I do think some of our fans need to calm down on transfers. Almost every signing has been quality under Moyes, so I'm happy to trust him being picky and not signing rubbish for the sake of it. Absolutely, mate. Bonnie Hammer, few clubs do their business in January. You're all talking to each other, which is nice. Remember the loads of signings then we moved to Stratford? Oh, rubbish. Also, I think Moyes is loyal to the players he trusts and he has served them well, i.e. Fabianski. Absolutely. And I think the thing is that when Moyes is looking at the transfer market, he's trying to compare like players that are out there and going, well, will you knock a particular player out of the starting 11? And Moyes has made it apparently clear that he's not going to sign squad players. He doesn't want to sign squad players. And I think that's, when you look around at some of the players we've been linked to, you can kind of clearly see that these players are squad players. And I don't think Moyes wants that. He wants players that can come in and challenge for that starting 11 and manage the squad around that. But I think that's a good position to be in. I want us to sign players. I believe we need to strengthen, but I have the faith in Moyes and what he is doing. I would be really surprised come the end of this January transfer window if he doesn't sign a player. If he doesn't sign a player, I would be, because we do need strength and depth. However, he's certainly not going to sign someone for the sake of it. So I think we have to trust in the process. Benny up against Zaha and Haller today at 4. If Algeria lose, then we could have Benny back on for Tuesday. I've seen that. Of course, Algeria haven't been playing well, and Ben Rama could be back a lot earlier than we all anticipated. Marcus, you're in the house. Good to see you. Gaza, I'm fine. Yes, thank you very much. Tony, good to see you too. Thank you very much. Good morning. Hope you are well. Again, you're all talking to each other. Robin Wilson, morning, Anton. If Areola stays, he should be playing now. I still think there's an opportunity for Areola in this season. We're only 22 games in. There are, 16 games in the Premier League? Is it 16 games to go in the Premier League? I mean, that's ridiculous when you say it like that, isn't it? It's 38 games in the Premier League. We've played 22, and there's 16 games to go. Like, it's actually, oh my word, it's like, yeah, it's coming thick and fast. We're still in the top 4, and we'll take that. David, Fabianski is a solid keeper, but he's not improving, and I'm not sure resigning him when he's on 65k a week is the best for the club in the medium term. Now, this is where I think I understand the Fabianski situation, because as we all know, history repeats itself. You know, when you've got keepers, their contracts seem to go on for quite a long time. Like, or sorry, they can play in that role a lot longer. Maybe if you look at Buffon. I mean, I think he's in his 40s, and some of these players can play and have a long career. Now, I would be surprised, unless we don't sign a keeper, or if we do sign a keeper and he's not good enough, that Fabianski was going to be number 1 for next year. I also kind of wouldn't be surprised if things potentially change still, because we've now got the Europa League coming back in. We're still in the FA Cup. And we're going to have a lot of more game time as well. So you could still find ourselves changing goalkeepers as it goes along. But Moyes will be looking at the whole picture, and looking at the Premier League form. And if we can go into the last 16 games, like we started the first 16 games of the Premier League, and get similar amount of points, can you see him changing it? Possibly not. I don't know. We have to wait and see. I'm happy with it, but I'd still like to see Areola get more games. I think a lot of people really would. Hi, everyone. Driving, so can't reply. Well, stop texting then, Happy. Stop texting, please. Lee, good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Where are we? Good, thanks, Lee. I was hoping Leicester were going to win last night. I'm better from the cough now. Thanks. Hope you're well. Hope you are keeping okay, mate. Watching Man United last night was worse than watching paint dry. I seen Ronaldo getting pulled off in a substitute, and I think he went a bit mental at being pulled off as well. So, I know the win would do them the world of good, but let's hope that, that maybe the problems they've got in the back burner can play into our advantage. David is saying Johnstone is only on 28k a week, so even if we pay him 60k a week over 4 years, it only costs us about the same as Areola's £11 million fee, excluding the 75k a week. And that shows you, though, that shows you exactly where we could be at as well. I'm fine, thanks, Lee. Hope you're okay too. It's the Prawn Sandwich Brigade. Thank you very much, DJ Russie B. I won't be selling you where I'm going to be sitting on Saturday. I want to keep Areola. Needs to get some games in person. He is quality, and he does look like he is quality as well. Tony Spike, Moyes don't want to play Areola, so offer West Brom some dough. Get Johnstone in and let Areola go and play for someone who appreciates his abilities. I still do think, I agree with the comments that were put up there. I don't believe a lot of the stuff that comes out in the press. I really, really don't. I don't believe that that Areola is pissed off. I think any player not playing like regular first team football would be annoyed, but I don't think he's seeking a new club immediately. I think Moyes will be managing the situation. I'm just putting it down to that. I believe Moyes will be managing the situation and going, listen, we're in the Europa League last 16. You're the Europa League goalkeeper, and you are the FA Cup goalkeeper. And there's a chance that, should things change in the Premier League, you could be this goalkeeper and that goalkeeper. Why would you want to leave? Why would you want to leave in that moment? And to be honest, I don't know if Sam Johnston's going to come in the winter, because West Brom are going to be pushing for promotion, and he is doing really well as joint number 1 goalkeeper in the Championship. It's just now West Brom are they willing to take the risk and trying to get promoted and try and keep Johnstone? We'll have to wait and see. Alex Chapman called this a few weeks ago. We wouldn't go for Areola and have Sam Johnstone instead, but was mocked, and I told I was negative. I don't think it was me, Alex. I really don't think it was. Crosshammer, yeah, we need Areola. Hi, happy. Morning, Anton in the chat. Good to see you, Richard. I need to I'm going to be going very soon because I am working as well. So, Elan, we will sign Johnstone for free. He is a Salthouse client, which I said at the start. If you look at it as well, you're all talking to each other, which is really nice. Looking forward to Saturday away day. Absolutely, mate. I'm absolutely buzzing about it. Glad to be back at football again. I said all this weeks ago about Areola. I know how this club works. Always goes for the cheaper option. But the thing is, though, Alex, it's not just even about going for the cheaper option. Sam Johnston's a very, very good goalkeeper. Like, the three players that are written on that board there, we're talking about three very good footballers. So, three good goalkeepers, and it's been a long time since West Ham have had a mixture of two top-notch goalkeepers and one we're linked with as well. Like, it's not a bad situation. I feel more safer with Areola in goal. He tends to command the penalty area more. He does. I don't doubt that for a second. I completely agree. Plus, there won't be any signings purely because Moyes doesn't want Sullivan's agents, mates, clients. So that's why they're bleating to the press about their money but won't spend it. Well, let's hope we do. Throwing Moyes under the bus as per every single manager they do. Robert Singleton, what is going to happen? Who knows? Guess we have to wait and see. But here's hoping. I completely agree with you, mate. 100%. All talking to each other, really cool. Cyber Leader, I don't want Johnstone. I'd rather keep Areola from Dalek. Tony is saying, okay, so if you trust Fabs more, can you see Areola playing the important knockout games? Yeah, honestly, Tony, I can. I think the situation we find ourselves in is we've got a keeper in Fabianski that, we've kind of got nothing to lose with, right? So goalkeepers do have, a long shelf life, and we can go on for a longer time. Fabianski, the question that lasts to the chat right now is, if West Ham play the same team and can walk out with a similar amount of points tally in the last 16 games that we play in the Premier League than we did in the first 16 games in the Premier League, would you be happy with that with the current setup? Of course, we need to strengthen in depth, but if we can remotely get anywhere near the points that we could have got in the first 20 games of the season, then we are on that trajectory for progression and moving up that table. And I know we want teams to drop points in and around us, but they haven't. But I still think that we can push with that trajectory. It's a risk with the size of the squad we've got because we've got FA Cup games, we've got the Europa League coming back, but we do need the strength and depth. I completely agree with you. But that's why I think that the Fabianski signing on is a mixture of, if he stays, he'll help whoever is the goalkeeper next year. What a great backup to have. We have to see. We were never going to get Areola. It was never our intention to sign Johnstone. It was always a target. It was pretty much mocked for all this. Funny how most things I've said are now coming true. Sam is saying, will Areola stay? Possibly. We just have to wait and see. Kent is saying, said months ago, we'll sign Johnstone over Areola. It's purely business and financial decision, I think. Yeah, I think we've done a video right back at the start when we were kind of looking at both the players and we were looking at the options. There's no ifs or buts about it. You've got business and financial decisions with these two goalkeepers here. £11 million, 100k a week, potentially paying that Areola, or free and 50 or 60k a week with Johnstone. And if both are showing similar stats, then you don't doubt for a second they're going to go for that cheaper option. So, yeah, there you go. I mean, I'm going to say it's exciting during the transfer window. We're on the 20th of January and we've still not signed anyone. And I really want us to get some signings over the line. But come and check out Russ's show, 12:30. I don't have a link. He'll be talking about the Lingard scenario because obviously yesterday we heard the news about Newcastle potentially paying some interest into Lingard. We believe West Ham are still interested in Lingard, and Tottenham have inquired about Lingard. So go and check out Russ's show at 12:30. Heat maps, stats, you name it, and you can get involved with that. But when it comes to Fabianski, Areola, and Sam Johnstone, who will be West Ham's number one come the end of the season, and who will be West Ham's number one come next season as well. Anyway, thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. As I've had up there before, we're on the road to 11,000 subscribers. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers. Hit the bell notification because that lets you know when we do go live as well, and leave a cheeky little comment. But Fabianski has agreed a 1-year extension from what we understand due to reports that have been put out there, and he has signed that contract, and it's going to be announced probably over the next couple of days. So keep your eye out on the official website when you see Fabianski holding up his shirt going 1-year extension. Anyway, thanks for watching. Come on, you irons, and take it easy.
Mm-hmm.